Mhm. Hey, y'all. It is Friday. What is it, January the 8th or the 9th or something? I don't know if anybody's around. And I am not going to wait until anybody's around because it is 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You guys know I'm in New Jersey. So it's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I have yelling kids in the background because they just got out of school. So they're getting to play their video game until I think I'm going to let them play till about 5. And then we have some stuff to do. So I'm not going to wait for anybody to get on. I wanted to tell you guys about my political sabbatical because I'm so excited that the Lord has let me off. So let me explain what I'm talking about. So you guys know I did a lot of lives prior to the election about President Trump, about the election, and all of that other stuff. And then all of a sudden, the election came, and I kind of stopped. Hey, Yvette. And I kind of stopped once the election came. And I know people have been asking me, like, you don't have no opinion about this, you don't have no opinion about that. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? And on November 1st, so that was, I think, 2 days before the election, because I think the election was November 3rd. But 2 days before the election or so, the Lord told me to stop watching the news. And if you guys know anything about me, I am an avid news fanatic. Like, literally, my husband would come in the room. This was before the news. I mean, this was before Trump became president. This was before Obama became president. I'm just an MSNBC fanatic. I watch the news all of the time. Um, and so with that, when the Lord told me to stop watching the news, I was like, what? Stop watching the news. I need to know what's going on in the world. And he told me to stop watching the news. So November 1st, after November, I didn't even watch the election results roll in. Y'all know how hard that was? And so, what you said, I don't know, but they want to bring lighters. So when are we planning the march? Twitter want to know when I'm planning the march. So I didn't get to watch the election results. I didn't get to watch any of that because, again, like I told you, the Lord told me on November 1st that I needed to stop watching the news. And so so from November until the day that the whole chaos just happened the other day. So I had a countdown. It was 2 months and 5 days. I don't know if that mean anything in, Bible or whatever. I don't know. But it was 2 months and 5 days that the Lord had it where I could not watch the news. And so I had to ask today, I don't know who Joe Biden appointed to his cabinet, none of that stuff. I don't know any of those things because, again, I was not given clearance to watch the news. So I literally just started watching the news like 2 days ago. I have it on now or whatever, but I'm not really even watching it because I realized some things while I was on my political sabbatical that I wanted to share. Number one, what I learned on my political sabbatical is the news, whether you watch MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, whatever you watch, because I watch all of those things or whatever. I knew this already, but I know more so even now that I hope you guys know that the news is a business. Let me repeat that. The news is a business. And so I noticed that depending on what type of ratings that news um, program or that news broadcast needed that day, they would give certain information. There's a lot of things that is happening in this world that they don't even show on the news. Like, for instance, right now, not unless you live in Atlanta, there's things going on down in Atlanta that the major broadcasting systems are not broadcasting. And so I say this to say I realize what is concerning me as a Black woman is not represented as to what's being showed on MSNBC, CNN, and all these other things. That's number one. Number two, not only as what I'm concerned with is not being represented, but my people are not being represented. Again, I don't have anything against any other race or anything like that. I'm not like that. But what I'm talking about is with me not watching the news and being on a political sabbatical, I had an opportunity to really see what's going on in people's lives. People are dying, and not just of COVID. People don't have food. People's unemployment have run out. People are on the verge of eviction and all of these other things. And honestly, and I went on Twitter today because I was so glad that the Lord took me off political sabbatical, because that's what I'm calling it. I started tagging Nancy and all of them. Like, we don't want to hear about no impeachment. We don't want to hear about what happened the other day. We saw what happened the other day. See, and this is what I don't understand. What y'all saw the other day and what I saw the other day was two different things. I am not ashamed at what happened the other day at the Capitol. I want to be very clear. What I saw the other day was a blatant disrespect to my people, Black and brown people. That's what I saw the other day. I saw the other day on television how people who do not look like me get to do whatever they want, but I still have to pay taxes and do things because I'm a citizen. So I'm good enough to pay taxes, but I am not good enough to stay alive and have peaceful protests. That's what I saw the other day. I don't know what anybody else saw, but that's what I saw the other day. What I saw the other day is not a discredit to our democracy and how they don't respect our democracy. What I saw is a blatant disrespect to Black and brown issues and lives. That's what I saw the other day. What I also saw the other day was the white entitlement and privilege. I did a show on that a couple of months ago. That's what I saw. I saw white privilege and entitlement. That's what I saw. So I wanted to be clear, and I am so glad the Lord let me open my mouth about this. That's what I saw. I did not see, nor do I care to talk about what's going to happen with the inauguration and all of these other things. Those things do not concern me. Now y'all want to talk about whether or not President Trump should come to the inauguration. Let me be clear. Whether he comes or not is not a concern of mine. The concern of mine, and now I understand why the Lord didn't want me to watch the news, is how is it that all of these news broadcast stations can talk about, whether or not he's coming to the inauguration, but nobody is drilling down the fact that men and women, Black and brown, died in the summertime, were in jail, imprisoned in the summertime, lost their lives, just beat up, tear gas, all of that stuff. But we're only 2 days after that debacle that just happened at the Capitol, and y'all want to talk about whether or not President Trump is coming to the inauguration. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. And this is what I wanted to point out again. I'm not trying to come for any other race or anything, but this is what it is. And we got to stop talking about this other stuff. Now I understand why the Lord didn't want me to watch the news. Because the news doesn't belong to us. Let me say that again. The news does not belong to us. It is not for us. It is not for our benefits. Period. Because while there are people who are still traumatized by marching peacefully because we saw a Black man lose his life on a phone camera, we literally saw a whole tribe of people dressed in paint, taking people mail, knocking people out, doing all this on national television. We saw George Floyd on a camera phone. What just happened the other day was on national television for the world to see internationally. And 2 days later, y'all want to talk about whether or not Trump is coming to an election? To an inauguration? I don't want to listen. In the words of the evangelist Michael Jackson, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. And I mean that. So, what do we do about that? Some of y'all, I ain't even gonna talk about that little $600 thing because that's a slap in the face to anybody who pays taxes and work in the United States of America. That's a slap in the face. Mnuchin can talk about what people can and can't get, but you could give airlines and restaurants and businesses, and I'm not talking about small businesses. Shake Shack can get millions of dollars. But you expected people who live in the United States of America to live off of $2,000 for a whole year because of whatever they gave people in March or April, and then that little $600, and you gotta hope you got some dependents. So it's a debate when it's about giving to people who pay into the government, but it's not a debate when the airlines are going to crash. It's not a debate when the stock market is going down. It's not a debate then. It's only a debate when you need it. So I'm just saying that to say, now I understand why the Lord had me on political sabbatical because I thought I was woke before because we woke now. I'm really woke now. I also am woke to guess what, guys? Even though Donald Trump will not be president on January 21st, guess what? The Democrats only wanted to give you what, $2,000, if that. The Lord talked to me about political affiliation. I'm not telling people not to vote. You should vote. Clearly, voting matters. Shout out to, she can't be an evangelist because like she flipped over a whole party. Like she's like Apostle Stacey Abrams. Like seriously, at this point, like she set order to Georgia. Apostle set order. Listen, if you too deep, this ain't the lie for you. She's like Apostle Stacey Abrams now because Apostle set order, and she set order not to Georgia, also to Georgia, but to that Republican Party. She set order. She established. She set order. She pushed that out, and then she empowered the others. She built up and equipped others to get out on that ground and get them votes in. So I'm calling her from now on Apostle Stacey Abrams because that's what apostles do. They equip the people, they set order, and they send them forth. That's what they do. That's what she did. She got more oil than some people who run around talking about the apostles, but that's another story for another day. So I have learned that, well, I already knew I didn't have a party affiliation, so y'all won't hear me rah rah go Kamala, rah rah go Joe Biden either. I'm not doing none of that either because my eyes are so open and I'm so woke and they all in the same basket to me. The only person's agenda I'm concerned about is the GOD. And so now I understand why I had to be on political sabbatical because we're emotional beings, we're humans. And so sometimes you get so caught up into what's happening and it's like, why is this happening? It's going to be better once the Democrats get in. It's going to be better. Yes, the Democrats are in charge of the Senate, the House, and the Congress. I said the House. That's Congress. Okay. The Senate, the House, and the presidency. Sorry, the three branches of government. Yes, I am a bill. I'm only a bill. Okay, the three branches of government. However, you guys, I want to see if we see student loan forgiveness. I want to, all these things they promise people. Let's talk about, I saw VP-elect Kamala's speech on this is not fair and the black whatever. I want to see what the black agenda is going to be. Because if we didn't see nothing the other day, we saw that we live in a racist country. Period. Point blank. That's all I saw on TV the other day. I don't care if America is embarrassed. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I live in New Jersey in my own house. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Sorry, it don't have nothing to do with me. I wasn't there, and last time I checked, I'm sure there were other people of color there because I saw the one guy who was in the chambers who looked like he was looking like, what am I doing here? I saw that guy, but I'm sure he wasn't the only one. However, at the end of the day, I am only concerned about in this season, in this hour, God's agenda, because the Republicans liars and the Democrats are liars too. And the independents are liars too. They all liars. I said it. Because they're going to do whatever they got to do to get whatever they got to get. So don't get y'all hopes up too high about how, because honestly, some of y'all on here talking about like the Messiah has come, and Joe Biden is far from the Messiah. He far from the Messiah. Let's just say that. He is better than Trump. And yes, I voted for him because I wanted Trump out. I voted. I did vote Democrat because I was going to do whatever was necessary to get him out. But I also want us to be aware that things are not just going to all of a sudden get better when another president is inaugurated. There are 75 million people who voted for President Trump. Do you think they're just going to jump off the face of the earth? Do you think they're all of a sudden going to change their politics and how they view? They hung a noose the other day. They hung a noose in the Capitol building. First of all, if you know history, we built that. The Capitol building was built by slaves. And the fact that we built that place and then you're going to hang a noose in it, but you want my tax money though. I'm good enough to pay taxes, but I'm not good enough to live. So now that I'm off political sabbatical in Jesus' name, I can talk about what I've seen, but I can also talk from a standpoint of what God wanted me to see. So now that he has released the system, don't be surprised if I don't start jumping up here telling y'all everything wrong that the Democrats are going to be doing too. Because now that I have clear vision and clear view of what has actually happened in America and what's to come of America, just know the other day ain't it. Y'all think the other day was bad? Whew, you ain't seen nothing yet. So if you ain't heard nothing I said today, hear this. Get to know God. Hear him for yourself. You get with a good tribe of whoever your tribe is. Make sure y'all all know how to pray. Stay at the altar. You make your altar in your house, because I know a lot of people can't go to church and all that other stuff. You make an altar in your house. You schedule you a prayer call. You get with your little prayer friends. Y'all have social distancing prayer. I don't care exactly what it is. I don't care what you need to do. But what I am going to tell you is the other day ain't the only trick in the book, because we all know that was planned. So now you have to ask yourself, why was that planned? What is the result they're hoping to accomplish? Because let me tell y'all something. They knew that listen. Well, the people who marched in didn't know, because, some of them are a little, brainwashed, a little cray-cray, whatever. And again, I'm not saying it to be funny. It just is what it is. But the people who orchestrated this, do you think that the end result that they were trying to get is to overturn the electoral college vote? Do you really think that was the end game? Because I don't. I think the other day they knew exactly what was going to happen, and they knew exactly how it was going to play out. And that's why they left the gate open. Gate wasn't locked. They left the gate open. They left the door. It's like you planned your own house robbery. You like, I'm going to leave the door unlocked and give you the alarm code so you could get in, so you could be comfortable with stealing my stuff. That's what the other day was to me. It was, come through this door at 2:30 because we go to lunch. And so then after lunch, we going to have the itis. So if you come then, we can't get up that fast to move. That's what the other day was to me. So now I'm asking God, because that y'all know that's who I roll with. I don't roll with nobody else. That's who I roll with. So I'm asking him, what is really the end game to the other day? Because the end game was not about changing that vote, because a riot can't change a vote. A riot can't stop even the vote from happening, because the vote would still happen. Even if it didn't happen on that day, the vote would have still happened. So what was the end game? I just want to leave y'all with that. Like, if you really, y'all know I'm a conspiracy theorist to my heart. I don't take nothing at face value. Because the one thing I will tell you about that Republican Party is they are strategists. They are strategists. Everything has a strategy. Everything has an end game. Everything. And truth be told, and again, this is just my opinion, I don't think not one Democrat just didn't know nothing. That's just my opinion. So all 50, whatever, no, because both the House and the Senate was together. So everybody didn't know nothing. So I just want you to think about that. While y'all arguing on social media, while y'all talking about this is embarrassing for America. So this is embarrassing for America, but what happened last summer wasn't embarrassing? What's been happening since the beginning of time is not embarrassing? It's not embarrassing for you to still be hanging people, hanging Black and brown people. That's not embarrassing. Oh, but it's embarrassing that they're in your little sacred space. It's not embarrassing that children, when we were able to go to school, were getting shot in their school. That's not embarrassing. We're embarrassed about the wrong things. So no, I'm not embarrassed about America. I'm not embarrassed because people who don't look like me decided to storm up into the Capitol building and make fools of themselves. I'm not embarrassed about that. I'm embarrassed at the fact that as Black and brown people, if we clearly don't see what it is, and if we don't clearly get a strategy for ourselves, we're going to keep allowing them to dictate who we are. So, again, what happened the other day? This is my opinion. These are my opinions. This is my intellectual property. If you got a problem with it, you take it up with yourself, because that ain't my problem. Your problem with me is not my problem. But again, now the news cycles are running with what happened the other day, trying to impeach somebody who only got 14 days left. But they not talking about the fact that they only giving people $600 to eat, to pay their rent, to take care of their children, to pay medical bills. Because guess what? People still got medical bills in COVID. But an American is only worth $600. Oh, somebody said America showed their. No, what I would say is America showed exactly who they are. It's just that now it's on television, on an international stage. And guess what? Half of these countries already knew we were like that already, because we go to their countries and ramshack it and tear it up and take it over. And then we act like we saving, oh my thing, we act like we saving them from themselves. So we go to other people's countries, take over their resources, take their oil, take their agriculture, take all their stuff and act like we helping them because we give them a couple of dollars. And then we ruin their countries. And then we come back. That's another story for another day. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But don't be surprised. And honestly, this is not the last of it. That was only day 5 of January. We have 300, and well, from that day, we had 360 left. This gonna be a long year, y'all. Get ready. In the words of Bishop T.D. Jakes, get ready, get ready, get ready. Not to be scared, because there's nothing to be scared of. We don't fear, but for you to watch as well as pray. So I love you guys. So I'm so excited. I am off a political sabbatical. Lord, please don't shut my mouth again in Jesus' name. Please don't shut my mouth, because he has shut my mouth, y'all. But I understand why now. So I love you guys. And I don't know if I'm going to see y'all again this week. It depends. And, but I will say this, though. Don't be so happy that the President Trump has decided not to go to the inauguration. Don't be so happy about that. Watch as well as pray. My professor from France sent her son and his black fiance to France because she expected this from America. She sent them months ago. Exactly. Other countries treat black and brown people better than America, y'all. Just know that. They do. They do. They treat black and brown people better. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So about the inauguration, now we know that President Trump will not be on site. You guys pray that no one is harmed. Pray that everyone is safe. Pray that there's no more distractions on that day. Just pray. Because I wouldn't be in the building either if I didn't think it would be safe. That's just me. So pray. It's not ding dong, the witch is dead, and then we all in victory. Pray. So that's my tidbit for today. I've been on 27 minutes, y'all. I thought this was, no, I'm lying. I knew it's going to be longer than 5 minutes because I'm just so happy the Lord let me out. Oh, I was locked up and he wouldn't let me out. So I love you guys. I will see y'all. Y'all know I'm going to be back Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am celebrating National Mentoring Month. So this Monday, my spiritual father is coming up. I'm excited. We're going to talk about what are spiritual parents, because everybody running around talking about their spiritual parent. You 18 years old talking about you somebody's spiritual parent. You ain't even birthed yourself out in the spirit. You talking about you birthing people. That's another story for another day. That'll be the story on Monday, though. But I love you guys, and I'm so excited. So now we could talk politics. I just got to do a little bit more catching up because I don't know who these appointments were and all that other stuff. But I'm going to really try to catch up. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, it won't turn off. Let's see. There you go.